Hi, romantic love. So many songs have been written about it, and so much can be said about this powerful energy, right? Here, of course, I want to focus specifically on the special energy behind this incredible high we call being in love. First, I'd like to give you my theory about this emotional state, and then we'll try to understand how your energy behaves in this first phase of romantic love. Unfortunately, the word love is pretty vague in English and can apply to different inner states. What I am interested in here is this euphoric feeling you experience when you're strongly attracted to someone with a big dose of dopamine and norepinephrine. Here's my theory, partly borrowed from one of my favorite books on inner energy, The Celestine Prophecy. Romantic love is to unconditional love as sexual desire is to sexual energy. I'm using this analogy here because I've covered the difference between sexual desire and sexual energy in previous videos. And the same parallel applies to these two types of love we're talking about today. Like subtle sexual energy, unconditional love is a pure energetic expression, if you will. But its energetic essence changes radically when you add your own psychological baggage to it. So, even if romantic love derives from unconditional love, the energy behind it is really different in the end. Let's see how they differ. First, the common denominator. They both come from an expansion or an opening of your heart center, which is a sensation that is really pleasant, right? Next to this expanding heart energy, you add the energy of desire. And like we saw in a previous video, desire has a contracting movement to it. Desire makes you want to pull someone toward you, right? It's a movement going from outside in, and that's why we call it a contraction. In some cases, this desire develops into a neediness and even something close to an addiction, which really increases this feeling of lack within you and which intensifies your energy contraction. And we can perceive a third element in this cocktail. When this romantic attraction is mutual, you receive a good dose of love and admiration, and your ego really feels validated. And this is where you get this feeling of high mentioned earlier, and this sensation of exhilaration that gives you the impression of floating in the air. On an energetic level, you're feeling an upward movement, which, by the way, can go back down pretty fast as well. To sum up, this energetic state has three main energy movements to it. First, you have the heart expansion from the love energy itself. Second, you have the contracting energy of desire. Watch my video for more info on that. And third, you've got this upward energy coming from all this attention you're getting from the person you love. Before closing, I'd like to give you one example to help you differentiate the energy or sensations between unconditional love and romantic love within you. Let's say you feel empathy for someone, or you feel really touched by something. What does it feel like? You will feel your heart center expanding, right? Your inner energy and gaze will become softer, and your eyes might get a little wet. And you may feel like a big wave submerging you from within, right? But you usually stay centered within yourself. Now, let's do the same exercise with romantic love. When you feel attracted to someone, your pupils usually become dilated, and there's some tension in your gaze. And you will also feel the pleasant tension of that attraction within you, right? But if you pay attention, you'll probably also feel an upward movement of energy produced by that euphoria and exhilaration. It's really a different type of energy, right? Of course, an endocrinologist would describe all the different hormones involved in each type of love, and I'll be willing to bet that the hormones involved in the second type of energy or love provoke more excitement in your body. But on this channel, we're interested in inner energy. And from this perspective, we can say that the reason why romantic love is so energizing is because of all these different energy movements involved in this special state. But all this energy is coming from outside of yourself, and that's why it can't last. As the Celestine prophecy explains, the solution is to find your own source within yourself. But that's a discussion for another time. Thank you for your attention, and see you soon.